do blogs actually convert? I think they do if they're done well, but I don't think many blogs are done well because they're just not conversion optimized and there's no clear path to the next action.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So something that a lot of blogs don't do well is, for example, having very clear CTA banners or buttons throughout the blog in opportune places. So for example, you want to have like a CTA in the middle of the blog, at the end of the blog, and in the sticky sidebar. So you want to always whenever someone's scrolling the page, there's always that prominent banner that's following them throughout the entire page. So they can always have that clear path to the next step. Yeah, whenever they need it. A lot of blogs don't have that. A lot of blogs also don't naturally persuade or inform the reader as to why they should take the next step or how the next step works. So for example, if you're one of my clients right now, they're writing a lot of blogs on trying to get more contractors to join their business, for example. So if you create a blog around how much do courier drivers earn in Australia, that's a very informational type of question, right? But you can then transition that person into the next phase by then having a sticky sidebar that says, we're hiring courier drivers now who make between $1,000 to $3,000 per month. Click here to call now, or click here to apply now. And then throughout that blog content, you also want to talk about for example, hey, courier drivers in Australia earn roughly $75,000. You could say that. And then you can go through the blog and say, top earners earn around 150 grand. Did you know?
And I go, ooh.
Yeah, you're ooh, that's a lot. And then you can say did you know that our company pays, in the top 10% of courier salaries in Australia, and we're actually looking for couriers right now. Apply here, or click here to apply. And then that's a very natural lead in from the blog topic and that person's search intent to then taking the next step to then becoming a conversion, because now they're inquiring to join the company and they're I guess they're an employee lead, not a natural customer lead, but
it's recruitment. Still.
Yeah, it's a recruitment lead.
It's leads. People still need people coming in that funnel.
Yeah.
Otherwise they can't provide the service. So
exactly.
It's just as important.
Exactly. So yeah, I think blogs do convert. But from what I've seen, the conversion rate is way lower than traditional category pages or service level pages. So for example, a normal service page on your website, if you had a website that did tiling services, for example, might get a 2% conversion rate, right? Which is pretty good. But if you write a blog, that's going to get roughly a 0.1% or less conversion rate. So for every 1,000 visitors that you get, you might only get 10 conversions or 1.
This is my point to that.
Yep.
Is if that blog costs you literally $50 to create, even that small conversion rate over time compounds, right? So if you get 100 inquiries over even 10 years through that $500 blog, or even less, so $50, or even you just written it yourself, just took an hour of your time, it could really compound and actually provide significant ROI if you just got up and did it, just posted it up and made sure it was relevant and added in all those conversion tactics that you're talking about as well. So this is a big miss of what people don't think about. It's just, yeah, we can do blog content. Small business owners always think, we can do blog content, but they don't do it. And then they miss out on, even if you don't think the conversion rate is going to be great, think about long-term what that could provide from just a very, very simple action of just hitting publish on WordPress.
Exactly. It's if you have, if you write 1 or 2 blogs, nothing's going to happen. But then if you wrote 1,000 blogs that are just sitting there on Google.
It's like a big fishing net.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
just capturing all the intent coming through potentially.
Yeah. Man, I find it so hard to describe. I think that's something that I'm struggling with right now is describing, what is the value of writing all of these pages in a very succinct way. But I love that fishing net analogy. It's if you only have 2 blogs, your fishing net is tiny. But then if you have 1,000,
in my experience working with clients, they have to feel it. They have to feel it. Otherwise, small business owners or people working in marketing, they have to feel it happening to them to go, oh, this works. And I'm a little bit like this as well, that some people are willing to invest and sort of take a punt on things. But if they're very skeptical about something, you just have to prove it, whether you use it as a case study to prove it or say, just give me a month to show you what we can do and just slowly drip feed the wins and the intrigue to them. Because if people on face value are like, nah, it's too much for me.
Yep.
You have to you have to basically hack into their brains and get them to see whatever personality type they have or whatever their business is, like how impactful it can be. But I've only been able to break through it by just proving it over time. And if they don't want to do it, then that's fine. But they'll miss out on the opportunity, and they don't. A year later, don't come at me and say, "Oh, well," it's like, "Well, I told you about this a month ago," and just document that conversation basically, and say, "Yeah, we should have launched 1,000 blogs. It would have cost you 10 grand or something like that, and maybe you could have made 100 grand, but you didn't. So, up to you. Do you want to do it now?"